The Divide. Scorching sun beat down on the dusty streets of Kinshasa, but the fear in the air was far colder. Mothers clutched their babies tightly as they ran, their bare feet scraping against cracked asphalt. Behind them, plumes of smoke rose from the explosions that had consumed their homes. The sound of gunfire was distant but constant, like a haunting drumbeat. Across the road, a group of UN peacekeepers lounged under the shade of a tarpaulin, their white uniforms pristine. A small TV flickered in the corner, broadcasting a football match. Cheers erupted as one of the players on the screen scored a goal. For a moment, their world seemed completely detached from the chaos just meters away. Adila, a young mother, stumbled as she carried her toddler, cradling him tightly against her chest. Her face was streaked with sweat and dirt, her breaths sharp and shallow. She glanced at the peacekeepers with desperate eyes. "Help us!" she cried out, her voice cracking with despair. But they didn't turn to look. One soldier raised his hand lazily to adjust the antenna on the TV. Adila froze for a split second, staring at the group. She couldn't understand it. How could they sit there so calmly, watching a game, while her world burned? Another explosion thundered in the distance, and the sound jolted her back into motion. She tightened her grip on her child and pushed forward, ignoring the ache in her legs. Behind her, a truck roared past, filled with rebel fighters. The back of the vehicle was loaded with sacks of minerals, the wealth of her country being stolen as her people suffered. The rebels laughed and shouted to one another, paying no mind to the terrified civilians scattering in their path.
On the other side of the divide, one of the peacekeepers glanced briefly toward the fleeing families. He took a sip from his water bottle and sighed. "This place is a mess," he muttered to a colleague, shaking his head. Then, as if to brush off the weight of his own words, he leaned forward and focused on the screen. His team was winning.
For Adila, there was no winning. There was only the next step,